There are moments in the world of K-pop that feel bigger than music. Moments that don't trend because of choreography or visuals, but because of emotion. This was one of those moments. Fans around the world suddenly found themselves replaying the same clips, rereading the same translations, and quietly asking the same question. Did Jungkook really say that about Taehyung? Not because it was shocking in a scandalous way. Not because it crossed any lines. But because it felt honest, unguarded, and deeply human. What Jungkook admitted was allowed. It wasn't dramatic. And yet, it resonated across continents. Tonight, we're breaking down why this moment mattered, what Jungkook actually expressed, and why fans everywhere are still talking about it, all without speculation, exaggeration, or assumptions. Just the story, the context, and the bond that made it unforgettable. Jungkook has always been known as someone who expresses himself more through actions than speeches. Whether it's staying late in the studio, supporting his members quietly, or choosing his words carefully in interviews, he rarely speaks just to fill silence. So when he does say something meaningful, fans listen. This particular moment didn't come with dramatic music or flashing headlines. It came naturally, almost casually. And maybe that's why it felt so real. Jungkook spoke about Taehyung not as an idol, not as a public figure, but as someone who has shared years of growth, pressure, laughter, and struggle alongside him. There was no script, no performance, just reflection. And sometimes, the quietest admissions carry the most weight. To understand why Jungkook's words mattered so much, we have to look back. Jungkook and Taehyung didn't just debut together. They grew up together. They entered the industry young, learned under the same roof, faced the same expectations, and carried the same responsibility to succeed not just for themselves, but for their team. Over the years, fans watched them evolve. From playful teenagers, to global artists, to individuals finding their own voices. And with growth comes distance, closeness, misunderstandings, reconnections, all the things that happen in any long-term relationship. Jungkook's admission didn't deny that journey. Instead, it honored it. This is where many stories go wrong. They exaggerate. They twist. They assume meanings that were never there. But what Jungkook admitted was simple. He acknowledged Taehyung's influence. He recognized his presence. And he expressed appreciation in a way that felt sincere rather than performative. He didn't claim perfection. He didn't romanticize the past. He spoke with maturity. And fans noticed. Because when someone chooses honesty over image, it shows. The reaction wasn't loud at first. It started quietly. Tweets expressing emotion. Comments sharing gratitude. Fans saying, "This feels real." Why? Because many fans saw themselves in that moment. Friendships change. People grow. Time passes. But respect, real respect, remains. Jungkook's words reflected something universal. Acknowledging someone's role in your life, even after years of change. And that's something anyone can understand. One reason this moment stayed safe for monetization and respectful discussion is because it wasn't about drama. There were no accusations. No hidden meanings. No forced narratives. Just two artists who share history. In an industry often fueled by speculation, moments like this feel refreshing. Fans weren't reacting because they were shocked. They were reacting because they felt seen. What made the moment even more powerful was what didn't happen. There was no immediate public reply. No dramatic follow-up. And that silence spoke volumes. Sometimes, acknowledgement doesn't need words. Fans noticed the calm, the ease, the mutual respect. It reminded everyone that not everything meaningful has to be explained. One of the strongest themes fans took away from this moment was growth. Both Jungkook and Taehyung are no longer the teenagers who debuted years ago. They are adults navigating fame, individuality, and legacy. Jungkook's admission reflected that maturity. Choosing honesty over hype, respect over attention, meaning over noise. And fans appreciated that more than anything. Trends fade, headlines change, but moments rooted in sincerity last. This wasn't a viral clip because it was shocking. It was viral because it was relatable. Years from now, Fans may not remember the exact words, but they'll remember how it felt. This moment also reminded fans of something important. Not every bond needs a label. Not every connection needs explanation. Sometimes, it's enough to acknowledge shared history and mutual respect. And Jungkook did exactly that. At its core, this wasn't just about Jungkook and Taehyung. It was about growth, gratitude, emotional honesty. In an industry built on perfection, moments of vulnerability stand out. And that's why fans are still talking about it. What Jungkook admitted about Taehyung wasn't shocking. It was human. It reminded fans that behind stages, awards, and cameras are people who grow, reflect, and appreciate those who walked alongside them. And sometimes, the most powerful moments aren't planned. They just happen. At the end of the day, moments like this remind us why so many people connect so deeply with their journey. What Jungkook shared wasn't meant to create rumors or divide opinions. It was a simple expression of honesty, respect, and growth, something that resonates far beyond the stage. As fans, we don't need to analyze every detail or search for hidden meanings. Sometimes, it's enough to appreciate the sincerity behind the words and the history that shaped them. If this moment touched you in any way, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, respectfully and thoughtfully. And if you enjoy stories that focus on emotion, growth, and genuine connections, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.